Hello everyone, welcome to BTV. Gorgeous day for men's Premier Division hockey this Saturday the 18th of February 2023. I'm Andy Day in the hot seat, sitting alongside Stephen Musson, and we'll be bringing you commentary of a very, very intriguing game indeed in the men's Premier Division. In the lower six, it's Beeston versus University of Exeter. Before we get off and underway today, Steve Musson will say a few words.
Good afternoon, Andy. Before today's game, a minute's silence will be observed in memory of Craig Keegan, who sadly passed away on Wednesday following his battle with cancer. Craig Keegs was the most accomplished of hockey people as a player and as a coach, but most importantly as a person whose talent, desire and passion for the game and for sport reached so many people in so many ways at all levels of the game. Craig was from Tasmania and settled in the UK, and he had a huge effect on Beeston Hockey Club as a player and coach, where he played 74 games and scored an incredible 72 goals in domestic, league and cup competitions and in Europe. From his trademark right midfield position and his number 11 shirt, he guided Beeston to a cup final and into European competition for the first time in the club's history. Craig was a player and coach at Bedford Hockey Club, here at Beeston Hockey Club and at his beloved Belper Hockey Club, where he continued to coach until very recently. He coached at Trent College and was head of sport at the University of Derby. He had the most impressive effect on each of those clubs, schools and university. His ability as a coach took him to the Rio Olympic Games in 2016, where as coach to Great Britain ladies, his talent for leadership and desire for winning hockey matches saw he and them win Olympic gold. I had the privilege to work with Keegs for 7 years, and I have never met a more enlightened and determined sports person who would talk hockey tactics, hockey people and anything hockey for hours. He is an irreplaceable loss to the sport and to the people in his life, and from all at Beeston Hockey Club we send our condolences to Craig's family and friends at this saddest of times.
Impeccably observed minute silence. Slightly different start to the usual programme today, but fantastic to see so many people on the field of play as well.
Yes,
sharing in their memories. So this match, which is about to get underway with the teams introducing themselves to each other, we might as well do that for you. The Beeston side, firstly, the match day 16. A relatively settled side, of course, coming off the back of a win a week ago.
Yeah, that's right. They're very happy to have got that win, obviously. It puts them at the top of the bottom six of teams at the moment, so they'll be hoping to push that on a little bit today. And they're pretty much at full strength, missing one or two players, but everybody else really is presently part of the first team squad, so they'll be happy with that.
You made a good point about Henry Croft before we were on air.
Yeah, Henry didn't play the away game, the dreadful away game where Beeston were soundly beaten by Exeter last time out, but the previous time that Henry played, which was here, he scored a hat-trick.
So bear that in mind. Today's visitors, University of Exeter, look like this. So starting with Peter Holdway in goal. We've got quite a few figures who are in and around the England Under-21 and GB EDP programme. Ben Fox, Nick Nurse, Captain Jake Payton, Ollie Drummond and Lewis Wiltshire, to the name of 5 that I'm aware of.
Yeah, Nick Nurse, dangerous player, Lewis Wiltshire, and of course Connor Syne, who was at Beeston. So there's a formidable team to play against here, so Beeston are going to have to make sure that they start quicker than they did in the away fixture.
So that's the way the teams line up. I think we might just have time to quickly pop the position up in the league table. We did say Beeston are top, but it is a very, very tight competition.
It is.
With Brooklands bottom of the table, Beeston defeated them 4-3 last week, but yeah. Beeston are on 14 points, top of the league. University of Exeter will be just a point behind them should they win today. Yeah,
this top 5 here could change very quickly if things don't go right from Beeston's point of view, and equally the other sides will be looking to climb to the top of that group of 6.
Just to mark your card, the housekeeping that we need to do before each and every game, it's Beeston in the black and gold halved shirts, black shorts and golden socks, playing from left to right, attacking the boulevard end and immediately making an interception on the halfway line. There's Griffiths with an early ball through. Early chance here. Is this a shooting opportunity? On the reverse side, it's wide of the upright. Less than 30 seconds gone. Statement of intent from Beeston.
Yeah, attempted aerial from Exeter in the midfield part of the pitch, and it didn't come off, and it was quickly turned into a counter-attack through Henry Croft, but the final shot was off target.
Halfway through my housekeeping. So Exeter in the all-white today, going from right to left in this first half, attacking the car park end. Interestingly, the end of the field, where there's another Premier Division game happening at 6 o'clock this evening.
University of Nottingham versus East Grinstead, so a bit of a packed house around here today.
Busy day of hockey. You are always welcome here at Nottingham Hockey Centre should you wish to come down and enjoy the atmosphere and sample the hospitality. Beeston, good start, good first 60 seconds with a ball towards the top of the centre. Has it fallen kindly? No, it hasn't. And Exeter get an opportunity to clear, bring the ball towards halfway. Good stick control on the ball forward. Early touch for Seb Ansley, who plays it back.
Yeah, another attempted aerial that's not quite come off there, but Beeston very keen to get off to a good start this time, because last time it did take them 10 or 15 minutes to get into the game, by which time they were sadly 3 or 4 goals down. So tempo and intensity at the start of a game, vitally important. Better
aerial ball this time out to the left-hand side. Exeter held up on the outside. Beeston trying to stop that in the early penetration into the circle, which has been successful.
Yeah, James Hunt just watching that carefully, making sure that the Exeter forward couldn't get into the D. Restart from Robbie Gleeson. Just noticed him playing from sort of right half or right back, one of the centre-back positions at the moment, and demonstrating his versatility around the pitch.
Ridge furthest forward for Exeter, trying to create a bit of nuisance around the top of the circle, just for shortening purposes, and apologies for the full title of University of Exeter. I think I'll be referring to them as Exeter.
A bit easier.
It's another aerial ball to the nice takedown on the left-hand side. It's been kept in. Who's got the final touch on that? It was an Exeter touch, meaning it's a Beeston sideline ball.
Jamie Golden on the restart, so
he's had a couple of successful weeks away with the international side as well, hasn't he?
He has, yeah, and of course he's come through a head injury, which gave him a concussion injury, which he's had to get through as well. And
another ball in the air, that's dangerous. However, the Beeston forwards are thinking that there was a hand clear. International sign language for that hit a hand.
Yeah, James Barnes there with no hesitation to give that to Exeter.
I think Exeter are a tiny bit spooked early in the early stages. I'm sure they're just finding their feet at the moment, but Beeston have tried to do a number on them early on.
I'm sure that's because of the last game, because there was so much discussion around that first phase last time, and I'm sure they've really tried to set their stall out to start quickly.
Into the circle for the first time go Exeter. They're looking for something, and the umpire has pointed to the goalposts. It's a penalty corner, the first of the game.
Yeah, well, it looks from here like that was a foot on the edge, right on the edge of the deer, although at first it looked like Beeston had successfully defended that, but first penalty corner.
Let's have another look at that then. So this is the ball coming towards the top of the circle. Where did that touch?
Somewhere around about that point. It looked like there was a foot.
considered pointing towards the goals as well, so it took a while for that to replay in the mind of Andy Higgins, who's down there. And James Barnes and Andy Higgins are our umpires today. Yep. Bev Deacon is the all-important match official. So first penalty corner of the game goes the way of the visitors.
Yeah, Lewis Wilshire there lining up as the on the first of the two set-up castles there. So whether that's the chosen flicker and at number 14. I'm just trying to see who that. I think that's a number 14, is it? We've got there.
It may be Ollie Drummond or William Petter.
Right.
Because we don't have numbers for those on the match sheet yet.
No.
So we'll keep an eye open for that. Here comes the delivery. Beeston set to defend. The delivery is good. It's low and hard and into the goal, and Exeter take the lead. Well worked.
Well, the power of that flick just completely deceived Simon Hudge, ran straight into the corner of the net. It's a great start for Exeter.
I would say talk us through it, but there's not much to say. It's a nice, low, guided shot towards the left-hand side of the goal that they're attacking. Here's the delivery again. Look at that, and Hudge watched it go by. Yeah,
well, it went to the furthest of the two castles and created a good angle for that flick across Simon Hudge ran, and very nicely taken, powerful.
So Exeter have been in the circle for a margin of a few seconds.
And come away with a goal. Yeah. Yes, not the start that Beeston wanted.
I'm sure that'll act as a prompt for more as they look to go long, held up on the 23-metre line, sound of stick on stick. Beeston looking to take advantage and get into the circle quickly as a player on the ground. Play continues onto the baseline. Goalkeeper committed and kicks it away. Still in play, penalty corner.
Oh, and Henry Croft with the ball there. Thought he had a chance to put that in, but the umpire had already given the penalty corner. Good attack, a lot of desire to get into the D there. Rohan Bowie particularly driving hard to the D edge.
So that was the kick away. There was there was the foot. It was a clear foot. I don't think the umpire could do anything else about that.
No.
So going over to inject Robbie Gleeson.
Yeah. Difficult decision for the umpire in that situation. I mean, for a second later, he could have seen Henry Croft with a shot, but he's duty bound to give that corner because he saw such an obvious foot.
Obligated. Yeah.
That's right. Yes.
Slower delivery. It's hit the goalkeeper and been turned in. Has it?
That looks for all the world like it should have been, but chance was missed.
Is it a repeat penalty corner? Time is off. Certainly you can see the umpire's arms in the air. Maybe we'll get the chance to see this again. Maybe we'll just hold on and see what the outcome is. It's certainly going to be another penalty corner.
Yes. Yeah.
What happened? Because it looked like Sam Mapula was about to have one of the easiest goals of his season.
It did.
Was it stopped on the line?
I think that's what he was arguing, yes.
If it was stopped on the line by a foot, is that still a penalty corner?
Would have been a penalty stroke.
I thought it may be. So how have we arrived at a penalty corner?
And I think that was the reason for the sort of surrounding of the umpire. So, but the Beeston players being disciplined enough not to take it any further.
Usual caveat: I'm not in the best position to see this. The umpire is, and the umpire is always right.
Of course.
Making it abundantly clear. Little shuffle to the left.
Yeah.
First one was good, lower one. It's hit the goalkeeper on the pad and up and away. Strong foot, blocking the ball on the line.
Yeah, keeper very, very far over towards his right post, so there wasn't much space there for Jamie Golden's low flick. Just resulted in a long corner restart.
Nice ball to the top of the circle, but equally good defending from Exeter, and they're coming away with the ball at pace.
Yeah, good way to defend that. Good trap on the edge of the D from the Exeter defender and a lot of pace away from the danger area. Gives them a restart very near the halfway line.
Bit of space for the visitors to work in just before the halfway. Pressure now coming from Beeston. That come up and flicked off the leg, but we're still playing.
Yep. Beeston very quickly dropped into what's referred to as the half-court defence, all in their own half, leaving a lot of space for Exeter just to play the ball, as you can see now, around the back. Still progressing forward because the Beeston defensive line is a long way back. Only now as it's stepping forward a bit. And you could argue that the pressing there has forced Exeter to miss the pass and restart for Beeston on the sideline.
Okay, then let's see what's happening in this defensive move. Beeston in possession on halfway, and we'll see if that comes to nothing.
There we
It's still
go.
with
There's a chance
Beeston.
here. That's
should be and
yes.
is.
Yeah, very good slip pass there from Will Prentice for George Fletcher to finish. A lot of space there at the back. The ball seemed to get there very easily from a restart on the in Beeston's half on the sideline, and then this transfer working out through the midfield.
Clever as well to avoid the opportunity of a. There's a bit of a mistake there, but look at that, the vision to just say, yeah, I'm happy for that to pass. That's unselfish work from Will Prentice, but the finish was powerful, and we're back on level terms.
Perfect pass to make from Will Prentice, so equally as important his role as the scorer.
We're just going to step aside for a couple of seconds, so we'll go quiet while we do make a technical change behind the scenes. Beeston 1, Exeter 1. This is BTV. Decent game this, 10 minutes gone.
Yeah, well, 1-1 after 10 minutes. You can see already that there's plenty of attacking play going on, and can't fault the Exeter quality of their corner. It was a mistake, as you pointed out, Andy, to leave that ball with Will Prentice. Defender will be uncomfortable or unhappy with his role in that. But it was an excellent pass from Rohan Bui that crossed completely. It probably covered most of the opposition's half of the pitch.
I think the disappointment of the ball being stopped on the line, that's forgotten a little bit now.
Yes. Well, can Beeston settle down a little bit here, and they're passing the ball around pretty well.
What's the week been like in the training schedules? Hold that thought as Beeston come towards the baseline. It's been kept in. No, it's just been taken over. Yeah. What's the week been like training?
Well, yeah, they've had 3 sessions this week because Stephen Wood decided that Beeston needed to train again on Friday because he wasn't comfortable after the Thursday session. So he had them in again for that, and everybody's committed to it, really.
Connor Sign, XB, with a missed trap. George Fletcher with a ball across field. That runs into trouble. Yeah,
it wasn't the best of passes, that. I think would have been better to hold the ball on the right-hand side of the pitch and try and attack down that side rather than that very weak sort of cross-field pass.
Skipping ball, but that was behind the furthest player forward for University of Exeter. 10 minutes have gone by very swiftly.
They have. I think Beeston have picked up a bit in recent weeks, really. They're not 100% happy with the way that things went in the first half of the season. Had a good indoor campaign this year, getting promoted. And they've come back to training well. And of course, they won last week at Brooklands, which is always been a tough fixture for Beeston.
I must say it's not been a great time for Brooklands, and it's a tough competition that the bottom 6 are in this season.
Very much. And they're a long way adrift as well now. So.
Somewhat of a chop, but play continuing, and player 14, who we can't identify yet. It's either Ollie Drummond or Will Petter.
Yeah, he's done us with his shirt number, I think, Andy. But obviously, travelling down that left flank there and passing sort of 3 Beeston players without a tackle being made is not ideal.
Jamie Golden on his foot, on his toes, trying to get that interception, and done it. Kept in play, but at what cost, I think?
Yeah, that was a good chase down, but the ball was just a little bit too far ahead, and it's not been able to be retained by Beeston, so Exeter restart.
You can't, you can put all the effort in you can, and just you kept the ball there, but if there's an Exeter player right behind you, there's almost no point.
That's right, and also as you run, if you chase the ball like that, you just feel like you're never going to get there, and it's getting faster all the time. So Lone Ranger up front there in Jamie Golden, trying to win some possession. Exeter again on this left-hand side. Good skills.
Yeah, Captain Payton Number 10 is with his back to us right now. You can just see the orange armband on his right shirt sleeve.
Yeah, Beeston a little bit out of shape here. It's taken them a while to get organised, and that's allowing Exeter to build up a play on the right-hand side of the pitch. Good drive. Quick restart. Looking for a corner there, but Beeston defended that well.
Yeah, well watched as well, because it could have been easy just to get a tap away and cause a bit more trouble.
Yeah, and after what we've seen from that first corner, and I don't think Beeston will be keen to give any more away.
Looking at the scoring stats, in fact, let's break off as Beeston enter the circle again. There's a layoff possibly. It's been turned in, but brilliantly saved. Goalkeeper's on it, and this is a penalty stroke. What a remarkable passage of play.
Yes, absolutely. The aerial took away a load of pressure on the left-hand side for Beeston, and that resulted in an attack into the D. There was a chance there. I thought there was going to be a deflected goal for a 2-1 lead, but one way or another, it's found a foot on the line and a penalty stroke. There, I thought that's where George Fletcher would have scored.
It's been saved.
Oh my goodness, Gareth Griffiths has missed that.
Well, that's not quite fair, is it? It's been saved.
It's been saved, yes, that's right. Whichever way, it's not gone in the goal, and that's very disappointing from such an advancing attack. Should be 2-1, really.
I wonder if we can see that again in a few moments. We'll hold that one in store.
The ups and downs of these games of hockey, and that's interesting, really, that the opportunity to put that in from George Fletcher wasn't taken. That resulted in the penalty stroke, and that's been saved, as you say, Andy. So one way or another, Exeter have done well from that. Beeston are very aggressive in their restarts, which is good to see.
Buzzing bees this week, and that's potentially a card. We'll come back to that as the Rowan Bowie goes to ground. He's had an impressive first 15 minutes of the game. Stanley looks to find the angle, whacks it in towards the top of the circle. Goalkeeper comes off, and again there's a bit more chaos in the
that's right. Yes, it
Exeter circle.
Seems it is possible to create that chaos, as you describe it, Andy, in the D, just by putting the ball in there. So that's a sign that Beeston can keep this pressure on. There's another attempt at it there.
Furthest player forward, I think Griffiths was thumbs up looking at the attempted pass from Bowie. That was brilliant and needed dealing with from the Exeter defence.
I think the number of times you can get circle entries in a game like this, the better. The more the number, the better. And I think Beeston have set their stall out to feed that D as many times as they can.
Peter Holdway in the Exeter goal. I think we can dwell a little bit more on that. That was an excellent save.
Yes, diving to his right. He's done everything right, really, because he's picked the side that Gareth Griffiths was going to put the flick to, and made that save. I think the thing I've noticed so far, Beeston's attacks are quick, and whether they're built up or counter-attacks, they've been very speedy. That is a strength. But they have to be careful, because obviously Exeter, I'm sure they'll be looking for more corners based on the one that we've seen so far. Much higher defensive line from Beeston now, trying to win the ball nearer to the 23-metre line.
For those of you unfamiliar with the way that the games are set up in the England hockey leagues, it'll be a break, a quarter-time break at 17.5 minutes, so we're around 30 seconds away from that. Our match clock isn't necessarily bang on the time that the officials have, and there may be time for another attack before the end of that quarter break. That's a nice pass, and again, a very, very important touch from Nick Nurse in his defensive duties.
Yes, I think I'd like to have seen Henry Croft working a little bit harder to try to get to that. I think he was waiting for that to be missed by by Nick Nurse, but it wasn't going to happen. Right-hand side attack now. Dangerous part from Exeter's point of view.
Time for another ball into the circle, but maybe not. Umpire with a whistle to his lips, and is that for quarter time? Not sure. We're still playing. We're still playing. Everyone's spread off and away.
Yeah, time's not gone yet.
maybe a bit of
Penalty,
recalibration for the penalty
yeah,
stroke.
that's right, yeah, penalty stroke, yeah.
Still we play.
There we go, yeah.
And that is quarter time. A very interesting and exciting first quarter of hockey comes to an end on BTV. Beeston 1, University of Exeter 1.
Yeah. The interesting point about that is the power with which Beeston have attacked, I think, has been very good. Exeter's ability to score from corners would be a worry, so they'll be very keen defensively to get that part of it right. It's a good start for both teams in many ways, although I do feel that Beeston should have that 2-1 lead at this point.
So yes, we are still on air. We may still be. We may look like everything's on black for now. So we'll hold on. We'll have a pause and have a bit of a conference because I'm not quite sure what's gone on there. No, we are back up and running again. This is BTV. This is live. This is Premier Division hockey. This is the top flight in England, and we're privileged to be bringing it to you. Let's pause for a moment or two. Back up and running, and Beeston already on the attack early in the second half. Goalkeeper Peter Holway's been beaten for a second time in the game. Simple finish and an incredibly bright start for the second quarter.
Yes, our slight technical hitches nearly caught us out, but we're back in time to see that. Again, this was a feature of the first quarter. The pace at which Beeston attack here is very good indeed. Good layoff, and then good use of an aerial directly into a player. And the pass and a finish from
Ryan Bowie, looks like it. And his good work in the first quarter has been rewarded with a goal early in the second quarter.
Yeah, it has. I think that's helped Gareth Griffiths out of his missed penalty situation. So 2-1, probably the score we expected from what we've seen in the first quarter. And Exeter have a bit to do now, because I think Beeston are beginning, dare I say it, gradually to assert themselves a bit.
Well, there's still plenty of game to go.
Yes, that's right.
But yeah, that's also the speed of that goal has really put the coach Harry Jones and manager Simon Tyson's quarter-time team talk in the bin.
Yeah, again another use to an open player of the aerial, purposeful aerials rather than just hopeful aerials. So almost used as a pass, puts Beeston in a strong position again here. Deflected ball on the edge of the D. It's a good, strong position to start from. Yeah, long corner restart. Robbie Gleeson on the ball. Quite helped to win a long corner there, trying to get out of what is a very tight part of the pitch. He's quite easy to defend from Exeter's point of view, but Beeston transferred the ball beautifully to the opposite side of the pitch. Into the D again.
Real hunting up there in the circle. I think chaos is the word. The more pressure you can pile on, if your defending team knows what's happening, then this could be a third. Goalkeeper's down, a penalty corner it is.
Yeah, Exeter having to defend very strongly in these situations because the ball is with Beeston in good parts of the D. Opportunity for a slip pass and a finish there, but it's resulted in a penalty corner. But again, a little bit relentless from Beeston, which is good to see.
Not only do goals win games, goals decide where teams often are placed, and with things being so tight in that lower six, goals mean a big difference. At the moment, the goal difference, well, it starts of the day, Beeston's goal difference is -14. And it's also not doing Exeter's goal difference any good at all. They were on -22 at the start of the
Yeah,
day.
that's right. And the feature you can see from all of these bottom 6 teams, which is why they're in this position, is their negative goal differences.
Let's see what the delivery is like on this one.
Good
Quick
injection.
delivery, low, and then fired above the frame of the goal. A lot of heat on that.
Yeah, there was. I mean, I think golden rule from Jamie Golden is to put it on target. It's very important that you don't waste these opportunities. Often if it's on target and it falls, there's a chance for a follow-up. Gives you a second bite of the cherry, but if you just put it past the post like that or over the bar, nothing else.
So Beeston sensing another goal, but what we've seen so far in this season, they need to take that chance, otherwise they're likely to get stung again.
Yeah, I think that's exactly the way that Beeston need to start thinking about this now. From this position, they need to create that cushion and not let this become a bit of a dogfight over a goal or two. The ball falling to Exeter. Restart from the 23-metre line. Oops.
Well, the ball was played there.
Umpire speaking through his whistle.
Yeah, the ball was played, but it could have been knocked forward. I think we've seen this season on BTV something similar happen, and there's a penalty corner again, and there's a big indication there was a shoulder or elbow.
That's what Andy Higgins saw there. Yes, that's, I thought for a minute that ball had gone off the back line.
So an important moment to defend from going ahead in the game for the first time. A chance for Exeter to draw level.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. That didn't look that.
I think it may be in use of the body to try and nudge the player off the field of play rather than the ball having any impact on the player.
Yeah, I think that was George Fletcher, a forward in a defensive role, and often leads to mistakes. But this is dangerous because this is where this could become one of those end-to-end type fixtures. Exeter's first penalty corner was very well taken indeed, so Beeston defence are going to have to be mindful of that.
Lewis Wilshire is on the left castle there. We've got the player 14 who scored in the first goal. We're still waiting to identify.
I'd be surprised if they didn't go to the same one again, so we'll see. Yep.
Same idea, and that's this time away, but it's a repeat penalty corner.
Yes, yeah, I think that's hit a foot on its way to the goal. Simon Hudran looked a little bit over to his left there. There was a lot of space available where it went in last time. I think he's going to have to be very careful here.
Ready to defend. This one is a bit more cute all the way around, trying to make that shooting angle, and another repeat penalty corner.
Now that is a shame because the position from the defender was great, but it's obviously Exeter's managed to find his foot again for the third corner.
So Beeston ready to defend. Trio of penalty corners for Exeter. This time it's been deflected away. Brilliant low save by Simon Hudran.
Yeah, that was the part of the goal that was worrying me. He's obviously comfortable. We've seen him make saves like that before, diving to his right, and he's read that very well. Taking that immediate pressure away. Just getting that in line with where it went off the back of the pitch for the restart.
Neat into the circle. Players going this way and that like 9 pins.
It was a little delicate moment. There was almost another foot in there, but so we've got Robbie Gleeson again on the ball. He's obviously decided that he's going to do quite a bit of his work from the back 4 players today. A little bit trapped at half-back, nicely played out.
Exeter have started the second portion of the season very brightly, but that's to counter as we're just waiting to see how Beeston deal with this across the back confidently.
Typical Robbie Gleeson, he gets away with things like that so many times, but it puts our hearts in our mouths a little bit when he's right in front of the goal.
It wasn't a terrific run. I think there were 5 games where University of Exeter didn't pick up a point.
Yes.
Then they got another victory, which was against Beeston back on the 20th of November. Then after that, there was a big defeat against Reading, and then a substantial defeat against Holcombe before
Yes.
Christmas, but then the win against University of Nottingham last week has put them back on an even
Yeah,
keel.
that has, yes. Well, it's interesting how the games ebb and flow, isn't it? I mean, we've seen that period of that patch of pressure from Beeston, and it's now changed because Exeter are very organised again, taking a little bit more time in their build-up, making life difficult for Beeston.
That's a nice ball, but just beyond the outstretched Jamie Golden stick.
Yes, I think with hindsight he thinks he might have got that, but he was very close to being in a very good position beyond the last defender. Exeter restart again, and Beeston dropped off a little bit.
Connor Sign with a second missed trap on this side of the field. Not that I'm picking on in particular, it's just because it happened to stick in my head from earlier on in the game.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's one of the things that Exeter will be a little bit disappointed with. They have missed trap quite a few that have gone off the side for a Beeston restart.
Nice takedown. Textbook. Keeping the play moving. Prentice, who's had to come back and give possession back to Stanley, who in turn finds Captain Griffiths, who again gets it again. This time Griffiths finds the ball towards the corner, fired in low and hard and over the baseline, but the expense of a long corner, which I'm sure Stanley will look to get going again quickly.
Yeah, nice little phase of build-up play there, quite skillful work and measured, yes.
It wasn't hell for leather. We've seen the chaos.
Yeah, that's right. That was much more, as you say, measured build-up and particular in the way that they tried to get the ball to the D. Good driving attack here on the left-hand side. Yeah, so again, I mean, Beeston have stopped the Exeter pressure that was building and have turned it round in the other direction again, taking a little bit more time.
Yeah, clear blue pitch between where the ball is and where the Exeter defenders are.
Yes.
And you think that this is the game plan until half-time, I would imagine. Just keep Exeter at arm's length and then have a rethink about how the second half of the game will get played.
Yes, yeah, Beeston will be very keen to see if they can create something before half-time. Maybe it's certainly a set piece would be a useful thing. Penalty corner.
Penalty corners aren't going to be forthcoming where the ball's in this position. So
no,
they need to be a touch more adventurous, and I think that's where it's coming now. Although a delivery across the defence, which Connor Sign picks up and gets Exeter moving again.
Yeah, Exeter do crash through some of these tackles quite nicely, and Beeston have to work a little bit harder on making sure that they defend well and low.
Also, a word on the spectators as well. Lovely to see so many people here today. Of course, you've got the benefit of 2 Premier Division matches today.
Yes.
And of course, if you want to come down and watch the second half, yes, you can. If you'd like to come and watch the second game today, where University of Nottingham are taking on East Grinstead, I'm sure you'd be welcome. Not sure about the T's and C's on that one, but you're welcome to come down and find out.
Yes.
As the sun breaks through, it's suddenly gone very bright here in the chapel.
Yeah, again, Beeston taking that a little bit more time now to retain possession, get their possession stats up a bit, stringing together more than 5 passes at a time at last, and
trying to engineer a free hit off the...
Yeah, Toby Stanley didn't really feel that he could pass that ball back to Robbie Gleeson in that position, so he decided to create a foul out of it.
Stanley with a nice fake and a nice powerful ball forward, and you can see, was that aimed at me? Universal bit of sign language from Henry Croft.
Henry's working hard today. He promised me before the game that he was going to score a goal, so we'll see.
Nice running from Jake Payton, number 10.
Ooh,
leaves one player down on the ground, and there's played across the face of goal. Long corner, and Toby Stanley's just back up on his feet.
Yeah, this is the danger, really. You've only got to miss one of your tackles in these crucial kinds of counter-attack, and you can find Exeter in the D, and that was a cross. It was difficult to get on the end of, but anything could have happened.
Hunter's turn to sniff around at the top of the circle with 22 on his back. That's Patrick, or Paddy Hunter. I've not found a definitive name for Patrick, so we'll go with Patrick for now, shall we? There's a card coming. That's a yellow card.
Yellow card, yes. Yeah. Well, Rohan Bowie receiving the ball in a very tightly marked position on the pitch, using his skills and tricks to get out of there, and he's actually created that offence against him, which, in Andy Higgins' opinion, was too harsh.
So it looks like it's a 5-minute yellow card. We yet to ID the player. It is even coming through. It's number 18, which is Samuel Armitage, who's been shown the yellow card.
You can see Beeston here pushing their two half-backs, right back and left back, quite a long way up the pitch now. The ball with Robbie Gleeson as one of the centre-backs. That is a shame. Toby Stanley's missed that.
The mistraps always seem to occur on the camera side. Is there something to that?
I don't know. Maybe the... I'm not allowed to mention the pitch at all.
No, I'd say it's maybe the sun. It's the sun.
It's the sun, yes.
Sun has suddenly broken through. Nurse coming through a couple of challenges right in front of the camera.
I was going to say, I thought that was that should fall to Beeston, and it has. Use of the area again.
Tennis style taken down on the second attempt. Nice running. I think it's Joshua Moran who's got the ball forward, but that fades out, and a big old boot through it from Simon Hushwan.
Yeah, Simon getting the game going again, and a good pick up and trap there from Beeston's defender. Kind of been the easiest ball to have stopped. Kicked off a keeper's pad, it could be at any height. Ball into the midfield again with Rohan Bui. He seems...
14.
Oh yes, Panas. Yeah, that's right.
Picked up by Golden, who's a little bit further out than he'd like to be. He'd be receiving the ball, but sometimes that's where you need to be. At the moment, Exeter trapped in that far corner.
Very good.
They've done very well to get out of there, and that is a bit strong from Stanley, but he's come away with the ball.
Yeah, I think he took that cleanly. It was Exeter did well to get out of that corner because it's very difficult to do sometimes. A few little tricky skills, and they found their way out, but unfortunately the ball was too far ahead of them and picked up by Beeston. That's the one they tried to do last time.
That's very deft from Bowie again. He picks his own forward pass up, and the ball is into the circle. That's trapped and taken away by Exeter. Bowie's been on fire.
Yeah, he has. That's right. He's creating a lot of issues for the Exeter defence. Again, a couple of times I think the Beeston forwards could look to just get in front of their man a bit more. And but there's certainly plenty of attacking play from Beeston at the moment, which is good to see.
It's just
well turned.
As the sun peeks through again with around 3 minutes to go until half time. That yellow card for Samuel Armitage, I can't see him on any of the naughty steps. So has he been sent to the dugout instead of the naughty step because of the? That would suggest it's more than a 5-minute yellow card because it was before 30.
That's right. He's definitely not back on, is he?
We'll get the team looking at that one at half time.
Yeah, so Beeston playing this ball around very nicely. I mean, it is a little bit deep at times, which always leads to that potential risk of a turnover to an Exeter forward. But they've done well so far.
Whistle blows. The visitors have possession again.
Yeah.
What would the University of Exeter look to change in the second half in their team talk, do you feel?
Well, I think that one of the things they'll talk about is the number of times that they've actually mistrapped decent moves, so they'll be wanting to get their basics a little bit better. Certainly the right side attacks have been fruitful. They've had a couple of corners out of that, which led to real wards, so again they can use that as a method. And here's another example, getting towards that D top.
Chance and a pad away from the glove of Simon Hushwan, having to be alert.
Yeah, and this is where I think Exeter's way back in is. They seem to do well attacking through right midfield onto the right hand side of the pitch, and there was a lot of space at the D top for Exeter there. Could have ended up as a corner or a shot on goal. Here we go again.
Just to bring you a bit more information, thanks to Josh for this. He's done some. He's got his shoes and socks off and done some counting, and there are 11 players on the Exeter side at the moment. So that card for Samuel Armitage, which looked forever and a day to be a yellow, must have been a green. Penalty corner will end the half with.
So this is just what we were talking about a moment ago, Andy. This right-hand side attack for Exeter to me looks like it's fruitful, and it has been so far. And again, here we've got that situation where they have a penalty corner attempt. So from Beeston's point of view, they need to try and tidy up this left side defence. Beeston's left side and Exeter's right attack. So if you find it difficult to get open play shots away and things of that sort, what better thing to do than win a corner? particularly when you've got a decent threat, and this is bang on the half-time whistle as well.
The half-time, the corner sting music stopped exactly at
yes.
the whistle as well, which is satisfying to me for many reasons.
Yes.
So this gives and affords the luxury of Exeter being able to pile everybody forward.
Yes.
So potentially 10 around the circle for Exeter. Sometimes it's too many cooks. Sometimes it is just what you need.
It's more of a token effort of display of the power and the position in the game. But if you get a penalty corner on time like this, it's a lot of pressure on the defence. Gone to the nearer castle.
And it has been turned in for an equalising goal. Final touch of the half equalises for University of Exeter. 2 penalty corners from the visitors, 2 goals apiece.
Yes, and we talked, didn't we, about how they might get back into it and how they might sort of G themselves up a bit, and I think this is the way to do it, and it's worked a treat.
Talk us through that little shuffle towards the end, and it was just, was that underneath the leg?
I think it's gone up off his kicker, as far as I can tell.
So that is the position at half-time. We'll bring you the update of the scorers as soon as we get it, because we're not quite sure who scored both penalty corners for University Exeter. So we'll bring that to you as soon as we possibly can. What we do know is it's George Fletcher and Rowan Bowie on target for Beeston, sandwiched between 2 Exeter penalty corner goals.
Yes, yeah. This is the risk that Beeston face, because having had a lot of attacking play, they've got the 2 goals out of it, but of course the threat comes from Exeter's penalty corners, and they have had 6 now, maybe 6 corners and 2 scored, so they're on a 1 in 3 ratio, which is pretty good.
What we can tell you, it's number 14 for both penalty corners for University of Exeter. Unfortunately, we can't put a name to that because it's either Ollie Drummond or Will Petter. Looking at the stats, we can see that on the scoring list for Beeston, Jacob Payton is on 4 for the season. Lewis Ridge is on 4. Neither of those jumping out as being potential penalty corner takers. So we'll go and warm up the investigation team at half-time and find out who scored both of those goals. It's been a very enjoyable first half. If you're watching, tell a friend and tell them to strap in, because it's going to be a very exciting second half as well. Lots to ponder, and we'll do that in a few moments' time when we come back from our half-time break. This is BTV, and it's live Premier Division Hockey. Welcome back to BTV. It looks like we are set and ready to go for the start of the second half. Before we get off and underway, our headline sponsor is the Magical Mushroom Company. The Magical Mushroom Company harnesses the natural flexibility and strength of mycelium, the material structure of fungi, to grow protective packing at any scale by combining it with agricultural waste such as hemp, cork and sawdust. For more information about the Magical Mushroom Company, we're grateful for everything they do for us. magicalmushroom.com. So with the second half ahead of us, we were thinking that the half-time team talk from Exeter would go one way.
Yes.
And I think it's gone another.
Well, I think that's right. I mean, we talked about Exeter improving their basics, but equally the idea that they can attack down Beeston's left-hand defence side on their right-hand side is a good one for them. It's given them the equaliser with a penalty corner just before half-time, so Beeston are going to have to take great care not to give away corners, because obviously there's a threat from Exeter there.
So Beeston started the second quarter very brightly. I think they're trying to do more of the same as they start the third. Yeah,
well, that was the successful way for Beeston to play. Quick counter-attack stuff, finding the D, perhaps getting the forwards a little bit more in front of their defenders, but nevertheless it gave them the 2 goals. And it's each time they've come off that style of play that Exeter have found their way back in.
We did see some remonstrations. I think that's a decent word to say. From one of the coaches. It could have been Simon Tyson. It could have been Harry Jones who was talking to one of the umpires and pointing this way and that. We couldn't make out what was the reason.
No, I don't know, unless it was to do with the card or something of that sort. I don't see what else they can be complaining about, but
that's another important stop at the defensive end. Housekeeping for you as we start the second half. Beeston attacking the boulevard end. You can see the cars at the boulevard end. Beeston in the black and gold half shirts, black shorts. That's potentially dangerous, but no, play continues on.
Again, I mean, Beeston having to do a lot of good defensive work here. Exeter have started quickly. We thought Beeston had started quickly, but it's come back with a bit of interest. And
let's complete out the housekeeping. So Beeston in the gold and black halves, black shorts and golden socks, and University of Exeter all in white. And I think the captain is being spoken to here by Andy Higgins with a clock stopped at 36:48. Captain Griffiths is being spoken to by Higgins, and I think match official Bev Deakin is coming across as well. I think I don't want to. This is the commentators' things you never want to see. However, this is now gone into the tasty category. I think something has occurred.
It has,
and all we can do is speculate.
That's right.
I think it was Simon Tyson who was doing the finger pointing on the Exeter side, and I can see that's now Harry Jones, the taller figure of the 2 coaching team.
Yeah.
Harry Jones is the coach managing Simon Tyson. And we saw Stephen Wood with his baseball cap on a few seconds ago. He was not happy about something as well.
That's right. There's something gone off over there. These little distractions can upset teams sometimes. Very important that part of your discipline is to stay focused on what you're doing in the game and not let these things interfere with your style of play or your basics.
Sometimes you feed off that energy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's negative and it's destructive.
Yes.
You need to manage that.
You do.
Whilst we're talking about focus, here come Exeter and shoveled off the ball, and that's the first penalty corner of the second half from an incident outside the circle. Yeah,
the same thing we've talked about, Andy. You know, driving hard down that down their right-hand side, Exeter's right-hand side, Beeston's defensive left-hand side is proving to be a source of reward for Exeter. There you go. That's clumsy. Whichever way you look at it, that
Robbie
is clumsy.
Gleeson deciding that directness was the answer.
Yeah.
Going over to inject his Ben Fox, and the one thing that we didn't want to give the visitors is corners. And they're up to 6 for the game now. We've got information on the screen to the right of us, and 2 for Beeston, and they've converted 50% of those 6 so far. Yeah,
this is Beeston's issue, and this is the thing they're going to have to resolve, because if they keep giving corners away, I think that'll be tough to keep Exeter out. They've got to get back to that attacking play, counter-attack play that was working so well for them in the first half.
Of course, 50% of 6 isn't anyway, that's a shot and that's a block, and that's been turned away brilliantly from Hudjwan. 2 saves in the fraction of a second. Brilliant stuff from him. Very good from Simon Hudjwan. Right place, right activity from him. Made his first save and then was alert to the second follow-up shot and dealt with that very well indeed. We've got a bit to thank him for there, because that was excellent goalkeeping. That is one for the highlights. And that's not very good from the
that turnover there on that right-hand side from Toby Stanley is unhelpful because it's giving Exeter a little bit more impetus and a bit more possession.
Interesting that Beeston had that spell of around 5 minutes towards the end of the first half when they were stroking it around, composed and measured. I think those were the words that we were using.
Yes.
And that all seems to have gone out the window as Exeter looked to be shaping towards a shot and looking for something on the end of that one, and going to ground was player 15, who is another one we can't identify.
He's tricking us with these short shirt changes. Beeston trying the aerial to the D, but a little bit too far for anybody to get on the end of that, so Exeter happy to see that off the back for a restart. Yeah, I think both teams at one point or another in the game have played into each other's hands. Exeter with their basics errors in the first half, and Beeston giving away corners when they know that Exeter are looking to win them. And those are the things that the teams have to tidy up in order to try to get ahead. All square at the moment, and we're not quite sure which team's going to be able to get on top of this, because it's been quite even in its way.
Good for the neutral.
Yeah.
If you're enjoying this, tell a friend, get them to join in as well. Who do you reckon is going to come away with the points, or will they be shared today on BTV? We've still got plenty of game to go. Right in front of us, we can see James Hunt, who's just off camera, but right in front of us, looking for that ball. He's in a lot of space. If he can, the ball can be reached towards him, but we've got an update coming from the women's match. I think they're off at Wimbledon today, if my memory serves me. Hampstead and Westminster it is, and it's 0-0 at half time. Given the way that the second half went last week, 0-0 is looking pretty good in that position.
Right.
So all power to the women as they approach the second half.
They're doing well at Hampstead. So again, we've got a bit of to and froing with the ball possession between Exeter and Beeston at the moment.
Neat ball in towards the circle from Seb Ansley.
Yeah, I think he was looking nice little deflection there. He was looking for a bit more of a lead from the forward ahead of him. Exeter have done very well actually at nullifying Beeston's attacks.
Griffiths has done well to pick that loose ball up and then find a pass, and that's just unable to be picked up.
Another one of those examples, Andy, where I feel that the forward should work a little bit harder to get in front of his defender, because it's just gone past and off the end. This is tight from Exeter's point of view in their own D. Done very well there to find the half-back and force Beeston back.
It's a good intensity, good pace in this game.
Nicely, yeah, that's good work.
I don't feel like we've seen the end of the goal scoring yet.
No.
That's a nice take. Where's this going to go? Clipped in and then sliding in to try and get the final touch. Is that Griffiths who's looking for something there at the top of the court? No, it isn't. That is Henry Croft who was looking for something.
Yeah. Good reverse stick cross there. Quite shallow in its angle and everything else. I think Beeston, again, forwards working a little bit harder, might have got on the end of that.
Twists,
that was a bit of a clunk of a tackle. That's the position, and upgrade this.
Everyone back in the 23-metre line from an Exeter perspective. Another long corner. Can Beeston turn this pressure into something?
Well, I think they ought to be. It's about time they were looking to win a penalty corner, so that's one of the things they could try to do. Again, defender in front of the forward, and has defended that very nicely. So Exeter.
Big appeal. Joshua Miranda, player from Exeter, who we've got time off here. Someone being spoken to. There's a card being displayed.
Louis Dupre obviously said something inappropriate.
Green card is the one, so it's a 2-minute suspension. And here comes Croft. He's gone the long way around. Seb Ansley,
that's a very
towards the circle.
Flat pass into the D. Again, another little criticism of mine. Forwards need to do a bit more work to get on the end of some of these fed balls into the D. It's nicely repossessed.
You wouldn't tell which team has currently got 10 players as Beeston enter the circle again. Cutback is on here. Goalkeeper is out.
Oh!
And has been swept away at the last minute.
Yeah.
That was so close to a third for Beeston.
Well, I didn't see who the forward was driving into the D there. Good space on the right-hand side. Maybe the slip was just a little bit late. That final pass has allowed Exeter to get on that and clear that away.
Sometimes teams operate better when they're down to 10, and this appears to be one of those occasions. So what's the difference?
I think it's just that you almost sort of get that enthusiasm from everybody to look after the situation, bearing in mind you're up against it because you're a player down.
Less than stellar restart from the sideline from Croft.
A lot of arguing going on here about
Bowie again with a nice take, and then to bring the ball under his control.
Yeah, there's just a little bit of a work ethic missing in some areas of the pitch sometimes, just that energy that gets you onto the ball. We've seen a lot of things go off past the player and off the back of the pitch, and we've seen a lot of Beeston forwards not quite getting in front of defenders, and I think these are the things that they're going to have to improve in the next 20 minutes or so. Good space for Exeter on the right-hand side again. This is the
inside. He continues his run, being picked up by Hawley now. Hawley tries to twist turn, decides against one way. Flicked up by Wiltshire. Still with Exeter.
Yeah, this is where Exeter are getting great success this side of the pitch.
Still looking out. Dupre is off the field of play as Exeter enter the circle again. Mass defence from Beeston. It's over the baseline, long corner for Exeter. Good spell for them. I was going to say it's a long corner for Exeter.
Yeah,
it seems to be setting up
Beeston,
like that.
yeah. Oh, that's far too hasty and unnecessary. That is not needed at this stage of the game. I mean,
11 versus 11, and Dupre has come back onto the field of play like a man possessed. You've seen him trying to win the ball back instantly. And look at the running as well from Jamie Golden, trying to hustle. I think it might as well.
Well done.
That's done well.
Yeah.
And there's a penalty corner.
Yes, yes, well done. You see that constant pressure from the Beeston forwards has led to an error. And
talk me through this, because it's we've had a couple of penalty corners from incidents outside the D today. So what occurred here?
Well, he's running into the defender who's kept the ball in, and he's knocked the ball away. It would have been a restart for Beeston, and the defender's knocked the ball away, and Andy Higgins deems that to be an offence, and there's the corner.
Penalty corner for Beeston. That makes it a trio so far in the game. 3 for Beeston, 2 in the first quarter, none in the second, the first of the third quarter. Quarter of an hour, 3/4 of an hour gone in play. What have Beeston got up their sleeves at this?
Well, the two of the corners that we've seen, one is over the bar, clearly over the bar, didn't help very much because there was no potential follow-up, and the other one was nicely saved by the Exeter keeper because it was just quite easy down at his right post. So we'll see whether they change anything here. They've got a couple of moves they can use.
There's a little shuffle to the left. It suggests it's going across to the left-hand side. It's gone central. It has gone, and it's taken a touch, and it's going to be a repeat penalty corner. Yep. So I think that came off shins. I'm sure I heard shin pads on the way through.
Yeah, the number 1 runner got nicely in line with the flick, and it's come off his did you say his shins, shin pads? Who'd be a number 1 runner? Some people love doing it for some strange reason.
You say Robbie Gleeson as well. He's the hero usually. So there's another little shuffle to the left-hand side. Is it going left or central? This time it is central again. This time it's low and hard, and that's been knocked away. Brilliant stuff in defence from University of Exeter.
Yeah, quite a comfy height for the keeper. Probably had good vision of that. None of his own players in his line of vision, so he's been able to just watch that and make a very, well, we say a simple, straightforward save, but they have to be good at what they do.
Yeah, right place, right time. And if neither of those are true, it tends to be a goal as Beeston enter the circle again. They're looking for something here. There's nothing on. Peter Holdway, he's had a decent day. Don't forget, he's had a penalty stroke save to his credit as well today.
Yes, he has, yeah. They'll be pleased with his performance. Exeter defending very well there on their left-hand side.
Seems to have lost the ball for a second or two.
Yeah, it's given Exeter possession again. They work very hard to defend that part of the pitch in that little play, and they've done well.
Next quarter time break coming at 52.5 minutes. Will we see a goal before then?
Well, from what we've seen so far, I think anything's possible. Exeter doing it through corners. So again, the closer they get to the D, the greater their opportunity to win a corner.
Interesting use of the body from Joe Mallet. I'm sure we saw a penalty corner for something similar.
Yes.
Given against Beeston a little bit earlier on. Flat ball in towards the top of the circle. Just takes a touch and away this time. Can Beeston come out the traps quickly? That's
careless pass.
Almost gone wrong, but it's still with Beeston. The running is still good and strong, and the baton is with Ben Collinson at the moment. Support is coming up from in the shape of Henry Croft. Exeter have it, and then knocked away, and then finally it's a defensive hit out. Yeah,
I think Ben tried to put that into the D. It was a tough position to try to do that from. It would have been better, I think, if he tried to recycle it by bringing it out and transferring it across to the other side of the pitch if he could. Exeter with possession again.
Time to take the ball down from Jake Phillips, who lays the ball off and maintains the possession forward. That's a nice weighted ball towards the top of the pitch, towards the boulevard end. Looked like it was going to be a penalty corner.
Well, this is becoming a feature because Beeston defenders. Yeah.
Well, we see a card here.
Beeston defenders putting their body in, almost shoulder charging at times. Robbie Gleeson did it, and I think that looks like it's happened again. I don't think for a minute the umpire's going to change his mind. We'll see it here.
No sign of a card. You're watching the replay. I'm looking what's happening out the window. Looks like we've still got 11.
Look, that is unnecessary, completely unnecessary. I think that's Louis Dupre. I mean, the reason I think it's so silly is because this is how Exeter are scoring their goals. So giving them corners for unnecessary reasons like that when they weren't particularly in a dangerous part of the pitch is not the thing to be doing.
Palassar just getting the final bits of his defensive kit on and then joining his teammates on the line. We've already seen a couple of very good attempts and, of course, goals from University of Exeter.
Yes.
What's left in the locker? We've seen directness, we've seen a routine. This time it's direct and it's blocked again. And today, Simon Hudgman has definitely earned his corner.
Well, he's getting a lot of practice, isn't he? And I think Beeston have got to stop giving these corners away. We've seen two very unnecessary corners given. And they need to make sure that they get their defensive shape right. As players, make sure that they're not using that body check as a way of trying to knock a player off the ball.
Aerial ball tapped away. High stick from Ben Collinson doing the necessary.
Good restart, very good restart from Exeter. Catching one or two of the Beeston defenders in an unready state. Good skills. Again, dangerous right near the
Hudgman's come a long way, he's taken his player out. The ball has been at risk of being turned in, but the umpire has found in favour of Beeston.
Yes, yeah.
Committed from Hudgman, but was that the right decision?
I think so. I think there was a situation there that was potentially dangerous, and it was probably created by the Exeter player. So James Barnes found it that way. This is not good form from Beeston, turning the ball over in such a close area to the D.
Doing very well, not only to keep the ball under his control as he fell, but also quickly move things forward from the quick restart. But Beeston have got a restart of their own. They made it towards halfway and given up possession in the process.
Yeah, Beeston have started turning the ball over a little bit too easily, and this is giving Exeter quite a platform to build up attacks. George Fletcher just trying to put a bit of pressure on Exeter's defence.
Approaching three-quarter time.
Now that's a decent pickup. Ball needs to be moved on. Why would you spend a lot of time dribbling with the ball there? Joe Paul's got rid of that, and we got to the three-quarter break.
Seemed to peter out there,
yes,
but different definite swings of ascendancy for both sides in that
There
time.
was, and the last sort of 2 or 3 minutes was all Exeter. The corner was a dangerous moment from what I believe was an unnecessary body check, shoulder charge, whatever you want to call it, on the Exeter forward. Don't need things like that. And Beeston's turnovers, a few too many turnovers in that quarter, and I think they'll be wanting to put that right in this 2-minute break. So we've got a quarter to go and it's anybody's.
Indeed. Well, many thanks again to magicalmushroom.com and the Magical Mushroom Company. Magicalmushroom.com is where you need to head for more information from our fantastic headline sponsor. Also, we need to also thank a few of our other sponsors as well.
Our main live streaming partner is Air IT, with over 15 years of industry experience. They are a mature, well-established and trusted strategic technology partner to a wide range of organisations and in-house teams. With comprehensive expertise across IT, communications, cyber security and business intelligence, Air IT will cover all your technology needs, whether you choose to fully outsource or complement in-house resources. We provide a complete managed solution from initial advice to supply, implementation and ongoing support. Find out more at airit.co.uk.
We're also proud to partner with Club Buzz. Club Buzz lets sports clubs build an incredible website and manage their entire club, including their team selection and payments, with the Club Buzz app, which is rated 5 stars in the Apple App Store. Get started for free with Club Buzz at clubbuzz.co.uk. Genuinely, I'm interested in something that the Magical Mushroom Company could do for me.
Yes.
I'm just thinking there's keeping my electrical equipment all nicely stored and in one piece before heading from venue to venue.
Yes, that's right.
So I may be heading to magicalmushroom.com sometime soon. But with 17 and a half minutes and, well, just a shade under that to play,
Yes.
what can we expect in that final quarter?
Well, I suspect we'll probably see much of the same. Both sides causing themselves problems. I think Beeston, particularly with the giving away of corners, is something they'll have to try to get rid of. Exeter will be having to defend against counter-attacks because Beeston will play in the same way as they have been doing. It's just going to come down to who can create that magical moment.
Oh, I see. Nice tie-in. Beeston have a free hit just outside the circle. They're looking to go. There's a little movement and there's a player gone to ground, and that outstretched arm very quickly is going to the next University of Exeter free hit player getting up. A little bit concerned from umpire Andy Higgins, but everything seems to be okay.
Yeah, Jamie Golden hit the deck quite hard there.
Given what's happened to Jamie Golden recently, that's something we need to keep an eye on, and certainly the medical team here needs to keep an eye on. There's a concussion injury a little while ago, which took a bit longer to clear than normally they tend to.
Yeah, he was given a good programme of time and treatment for that and came through it well. Exeter, just that little bit of basic error creeping in again, mistrapping on the sideline, and that we talked about that. Beeston the possession again. Yeah, Exeter defended well. They have done quite well to defend Beeston's right side attacks, and a few times they've nullified the threat. And here we go again with steady build up from Exeter, having to recycle possession by passing it back into their defensive line. No way forward for them otherwise. Stephen Wood, Beeston coach, has started his prowling up and down the sideline. I think he's sensing has a bit of an urgency to try to win this game. He's trying to get more out of his team. And Exeter holding possession well. A few little aerials that they've brought down well. Skills to get out of tight areas. Winning restarts that allow them to create a bit of space ahead. Working as ever to try to get that penalty corner. I'm sure that's their strategy.
It's suddenly got a bit more cagey, hasn't it? We'll also try and bring you an update from the women's match. We know at half time, when Beeston women travelled to Hampstead and Westminster, it was 0-0. We're still waiting for an update from that match.
Good tackle. Now this is where Beeston needs to retain this possession. Very important now that when they the counter-attacks that they use, or the build-up play that they use, they do it without giving away easy turnovers. That's
nice
a nice
to the
place.
top. Yes, very good into the top, and that's a penalty corner.
Classic way of winning a penalty corner. Get it down the right-hand side, stay in possession of it, find a foot on the edge of the D. Sounds simple.
Good pace as well about the movements as well, because sometimes you can get caught a little bit. There's the little pause there, and then the delivery is good.
Yeah, there you go. Very easy. Nicely picked up by Samapula, I think that was, and put onto a foot. Now, come on, Beeston, because they need to make one of these corners look a little bit dangerous.
Take a little while to. It's the first penalty corner that they've faced in the second half, if memory serves me correctly.
Yeah, I think Beeston needs to just perhaps. We've not seen either side do anything other than an attempted straightforward flick from the trap. Maybe try something a little bit different to outwit the defence. There you go again.
What a finish!
That is an exceptionally good penalty corner flick. Jamie Golden found his space, put that right in the roof of the net. No stopping that at all.
That was straight down the middle.
Yeah.
Powerful into the roof of the net. Everything behind that.
Yes, his action and speed through it made it look like there was hardly any distance between him and the goal. An absolutely excellent penalty corner flick.
Terrific stuff from Jamie Golden. That moves him onto 5 goals for the season, makes him top scorer for the season with 5 goals.
Yes, and 2 or 3 of those have been from corners, I think, haven't they?
There was a very important finish against Brooklands.
There was, that's right.
Very, very end of the game. So Beeston retake the lead for the second time in the game, converting a penalty corner, which is something that hasn't been on the cards during the game.
No, that's right. We were saying they needed to make sure that was a better executed corner, a bit more dangerous, and they managed to do that. Now the test now is to get possession, retain possession, and try to control the rest of this quarter.
Interesting parallels between the first goal of the game, which was Exeter having the ball for a fraction of a second in the top of the circle, which was then finished with a penalty corner.
Yes.
And the one we've just seen.
Yes,
Beeston
that's right.
looking to press again, maybe. Kept in very, very well, using every millimetre of the field. Ball across the circle. Goalkeeper's come a long way, Peter Holdway, but he was right place to see that one cross over the
He
side.
was. There was no real forward in there, actually. I think that might have been an idea Jamie Golden could have perhaps kept that ball and tried to build a right side attack again. He did try the cross, but there wasn't really anybody in the right place. So Beeston dropping into it's not a half-court defensive press at all. They're a little bit further out than that, trying to stop any progress that Exeter make, trying to get towards the Beeston defence. Again, forcing them to just hold possession and not exactly finding an easy connection going forward for Exeter at the moment. So it's quite good discipline work from Beeston. There they are. Yeah, just nicely stepped in. The minute that ball was played into a midfield player, Beeston stepped in very quickly, created an offence and ball onto the foot. Right side attack again. Here we go. Still travelling. Oh,
that almost turned over the baseline. And
yes,
that is another penalty corner.
Well, very quickly pounced on that loose ball. Pounced on by, I think that was Henry, maybe Gareth Griffiths, Henry Croft, I couldn't tell from here. But the speed at which that loose ball was pounced on, which Beeston weren't doing in the first half, has resulted in a penalty corner. Great work there on the right-hand side. Just a little bit clumsy defending from...
I think that is Griffiths.
Gareth Griffiths, extremely quick to close down that player and pounce on that loose ball, and that's what's resulted in the penalty corner.
10 minutes remain in the game. This second penalty corner in quick succession from Beeston. If this is converted, you feel the points will be staying here at Nottingham Hockey Centre.
Yes. Do they feel they can do the same again, or will they look for something else?
Well, you know, it's in Jamie Golden's locker. We've just seen that about 2 minutes ago.
Yes.
Now, do they try something similar or something different? Stick or twist? Looks like it is going towards Golden this time with a routine, low and hard, and then Apula is there, but no.
Yeah, they went to the nearer castle this time and didn't quite get the shot off target. Exeter turned the ball over too easily there, giving Beeston another right side attack.
Very physical this game, and there's an advantage, I think, being played.
Penalty stroke. Well, the keeper's tackle on Rohan Bowie, I think that was deemed to have been an offence. Exeter won't be happy with that, I'm sure, but
also when we see on the replay how quickly that ball was won back, and look at that physicality there from
yes.
I'm not saying the players, because it could be a bit 50-50, but the physicality is there.
Yeah, the keeper's challenge on Rohan Bowie is deemed to be too harsh. And
interestingly, it's a change of player. So Jamie Golden, he's already scored in the game.
Yeah.
So Griffiths didn't convert earlier on. It could be 2 saves from Peter Holdway, or will it be 4-2 to Beeston?
Yeah, we'll see.
It is wide, but I think it touch on the goalkeeper's pad.
He's having a field day with the penalty strokes, isn't he? That's practice for Tuesday and Thursday night for Beeston. Penalty strokes. That's not very good, is it, really?
Maybe we'll turn the mics down for a few moments and you can vent. But that could have been. I know they're not gimmies by any stretch.
No.
But 2 converted penalty strokes would be daylight and then some.
Absolutely, and I think that's the point, really, because now the game is still at risk for Beeston of dropping 2 or even 3 points when it could have been put to bed. And it's those little moments that matter, particularly when you've got certain targets to achieve and certain places that you want to be in a league. You've got to get the little moments right. Ooh, stick tackle, that will be... So they're now faced with sort of 8-9 minutes of what's undoubtedly going to be pressure from Exeter, whereas it could have been a slight bit different.
By the way, wherever you're watching, do give us a shout. If you've got an idea for player of the match, if we're able to get those messages sent in to us, we might be able to pick out a player. I'm certainly feeling that Rohan Bowie is probably leading my personal tally.
And Peter Holdway, I would say, from Exeter as well.
Certainly 2 penalty saves are plus other good work as well.
Yes, that was a lovely aerial, but Sam Pooler holding his hand up there, accepting that was something he might have done a little bit better with. So tough to stop aerials of that distance, though, and particularly when they've hit the surface, they bounce high, so very hard to control. Use of an aerial again. Now that really ought to be a Beeston ball, and it is.
Robbie Gleeson was arms aloft, thinking, well, what's gone on here? He seemed to be a bit sandwiched.
Well, Robbie, as the receiver, was well placed and stable in his position, and he was encroached upon by the Exeter players, and that's deemed to be an offence when receiving those sorts of aerials.
We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. Are we on it? We're on it. I'm not. Something's gone on there, but that's a story for another day. But wherever you're watching, be social. Let us know what your thoughts are. Who's going to take the points home? Who's been your standout player? What would you have done differently if you were a fantasy manager? All your thoughts are welcome. All the engagement is important, because every time you click, every time you tweet, every time you message us, more heads and eyeballs come towards BTV. So
yes,
it is important that you engage. Please do. That's a special heartfelt message from me in the hot seat.
Skills.
Brilliant stuff from Exeter. The space on the right-hand side for Ben Fox to go this way and that. He's decided to go inside, but that's a very, very good touch from Henry Croft to break things down. It's still with Ben Fox. He's making his way towards the edge of the circle via a free hit.
Yeah,
Beeston having to retreat into the circle. There's no one stopping him. It's been knocked behind by Ben Collinson. Long corner. Exeter fancying another trip into the area where they've been the most dangerous, the right-hand side. Ball in the circle. This has been mopped up by Beeston, and you can tell the intensity has gone up in my commentary, because everything's gone up a notch in the last couple of seconds.
And this is what we'll find. I mean, the consequences of missing a penalty stroke at that part of the game is it gives the power to Exeter, who now have belief that they can get back into this, get something from the game. A lot of pressure to be experienced by Beeston, I would think, in the next, well, 5 minutes or so.
Clouds starting to roll in the distance as I'm looking at the traffic and thinking, oh, don't like the look of that.
That's right. Well, this is where Beeston on the ball now. This is where they have to look to spend a lot more time in possession.
That was an impressive bit of juggling from Lewis Ridge there, blocking the ball in the air.
It's the aerial again. Where's that gone? Is that going to be picked up? Picked up
has
nicely by Exeter in defence, and closed down too quickly, gives them an outlet, finding players in space and getting to the ball first. This is well done by Robbie Gleeson.
This time last week, almost to the second, Beeston came away with all 3 points after a high-scoring 1-goal win.
Yes, that's right.
About 5 minutes away from that time at the moment, and we're looking for a hold-up penalty corner.
Yeah,
was
that's
the call, maybe.
No, I think Jamie Golden thought that was a foot. It was in a good position, right-hand side of the D again.
Nice takedown from Stanley, decides to give it back, and that's the right option to reset and build from the back from Beeston. Is there another route to the circle? There is. Across the face of goal, there's a mistake, but that's been brilliantly done with a ball in the air, 3D skills, but that's a coming together. Henry Croft went flying. You can still see the skid marks off his trainers on the field of play there.
Henry's work rate closing down and tackling back, retreat tackles and pressing tackles. That's tackles ahead of him have been very good today, so it's great to see that work rate. This bit of skill, getting that ball into a dangerous area.
Shooting opportunity, Golden wants it and gets a penalty corner.
Yeah, good pressure, good power. You see, that all comes from the trigger point there, being Henry Croft's work rate, winning the ball back, allowing Beeston to have this restart and upgrade that possession through a bit of tricky skills there, but putting it into the D. Yeah.
Really good stuff, and another feather in the cap for Bowie. He's had possibly his best game in a Beeston
shirt. I agree,
shirt.
I think that's right. His skills on the ball have been excellent, his basics very strong.
Certainly he's a player that I've been looking forward to seeing and has got a lot of potential, and in this game we've certainly seen it today.
Had a superb indoor season this year. Well, I say season, it was just two weekends, but nevertheless, in the games that were played, I think he played superbly well, so it's obviously carried through a little bit. Confidence as well, maybe.
Let's see what happens here. Does it go to Golden? Does it go through to Griffiths? It is Golden who decides to power another one into the roof of the net. Yeah. Brilliant finish, 2 for Golden, and that's probably put the tin hat on it for Beeston today.
I think that's right, and this time he's done it off the other castle, so the nearer trapper, and he's just seemed to find those corners very nicely when he's given that little bit of extra space to get the flick away. So you can see he's come to this near castle this time. There's the trap, and he just finds that gap between the sort of keeper's stick and helmet. Very good.
I think Peter Holwaite will come away with great credit, but also be disappointed by this today.
Yeah, he's been beaten by 2 very good penalty corner flicks, but then he did his bit with the penalty stroke saves, I think, and Beeston here just fiddling their way out of difficulty. Need to get rid of the ball. It's gone back to Exeter.
Bit of a cushion though, with less than 2 minutes remaining. There's a player on the ground here. Clock is stopped by the looks of things. The universal signal of the arms or the hands crossed. And who's that down? Is it Gleeson? It looks like it from here.
Yes, it is. Yeah, he's been knocked over in some part of that play. So.
We are back rolling again. Don't forget that the match clock may not necessarily reflect exactly what is happening on the screen. There's another player gone tumbling. Everyone's going all over the place here, and Beeston have the ball in a brilliant position, but it crosses over the touchline.
That's right. I think just passed slightly behind the advancing Jamie Golden, I think that was.
Here's Fox. He's done very well from a similar position, has done well again now.
Good
Tries
defence.
to ride a couple of challenges. Now Beeston need to game manage this. 60 seconds away from potentially securing 3 valuable points. And We'll have a talk a little bit later on about how this impacts on the end of season tournament.
Yes.
But 3 points are very, very important indeed at any time of the season.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's a good time to string 2 wins together, really, in this phase of the league. Beeston will be pleased with that.
Beeston have managed to secure 2 wins in a row already this season. Brooklands back in the 6th of November, following that up with a win away, even though it's across the other side of the field, against University of Nottingham.
Yes. And it's interesting, isn't it, in a league like this, if you string 2 wins together at any point, it's extremely beneficial.
Look at Exeter still pressing though. They feel that there's a route into this circle. Is there another way to get the game back on track from them? I don't think so, and that is really clever.
Yeah, that was very nearly onto Henry Croft's stick, which would have been an interesting...
Well, the second prize was it just wiped off 5 seconds of important time, and that's it. Handshakes from everybody. Listen to that crowd reaction, by the way.
Excellent result for Beeston at this stage of the season.
Beeston 4, University of Exeter 2. If we can have that caption back up again, we'll talk you through the goal-scoring sequences. It's Exeter, after a very bright start from Beeston, University of Exeter scored first on 5 minutes, penalty corner. Rowan Bowie then with a really neat finish following a good pass with a powerful finish into the goal at the Boulevard end.
Yes.
After George Fletcher's good finish as well. Exeter then, with a final touch of the first half, made it 2-2. So 2 penalty corners. And it was this way and that.
It was.
But Jamie Golden had got 2 penalty corner finishes for the ages.
Yes. Yeah.
Without even touching on the 2 penalty strokes that were both saved excellently by Peter Holdway in the University of Exeter goal. So they were misses for Gareth Griffiths, and also it would have been a hat trick.
Yes. Yeah.
For Jamie Golden. But handshakes and 3 points in the bag for Beeston.
Yeah, excellent in the result. Still bits to work on. There's lots to do there, but Beeston will be pleased with 2 wins from 2 in this part of the season, and credit to Jamie Golden for 2 really well taken penalty corner flicks.
What we will do is have a look around on the socials and try and work out what's gone on with the women, their trip to London and how that's going. The latest we have is it's half time, it's 0-0. Let's see if there's been any more updates. No further updates available. We'll turn our attention to next week, Saturday the 25th of February, with a double header on BTV next weekend. You say that with such joy in your heart. So double the research for me for next week. 25th of February, it's Beeston versus Oxford. That one is a 2 o'clock start, followed by an earlier start on Sunday the 26th of February, again if memory serves me correctly.
Correct, yeah.
Midday start, Beeston versus University of Nottingham. So we can expect a lot of attendance and a lot of passion in that crowd.
Yeah, big weekend always round that with a double header. Things will be very clear after the end of that weekend.
Also, the first time I've seen Oxted. They've been here a couple of times. I've managed to not see them. It's nothing personal, Oxted. It just seems to have fallen that way.
Yes.
Every time that you've come up and said hello. But yeah, it'd be a pleasure to welcome you down. Another quick play as well. If you would like to come down, join in the atmosphere, join in the day here at Nottingham Hockey Centre for a Beeston match day, please do. Have a look online, beestonhockeyclub.com, or just turn up on a match day. We are always welcome to have you here at Nottingham Hockey Centre. Thank you, Muss. Who's been standout for you today?
Well, Jamie Golden's penalty corners were a standout, I think. And to be fair to Exeter, as we've said, I think that Peter Holdway played very well for them. In the end, it was the winning of the corners in the latter part of the game by Beeston that's turned that. Although we made it very nervy for us with the missed penalty strokes.
There's a conversation happening on the far side of the field, which we won't bring you with a zoom on, but the umpires are still in a very, very deep discussion with the coaching team of University of Exeter. But that's a conversation for another day. I've been Andy Day and will continue to be so for some time, hopefully, and it's been a pleasure keeping you company on BTV this afternoon. But we'll be back next weekend for a double-header, 2 days of BTV, Saturday and Sunday, both games bringing you the men. The latest we have from London, the women are drawing 0-0, but they're well and deep into the second half there. We don't know if the score has changed. Good luck to the women, come what may. And yeah, it's been a pleasure keeping you company. It's time to hit the road. See you again